Past the 550, and so far it's been completely controlled by Dawn Approach, who's doing it with his ears pricked. Out by a length as Brown muscles off the fence now with the mare Magnificio. Quickly dispensed with Zesta, who got pushed out of the road, and Acadasset's under the Persuader, back last of the four. The stablemates coming together at the 250. Dawn Approach, Magnificio, he forces now her to really dig down, and here comes Acadasset. This is the one the money has been on. Acadasset coming at Magnificio. Dawn Approach, it's Magnificio lifting, but Acadasset's got her, and there is the biggest boil over you've seen. Acadasset has got to the two.
And it may not have gone to script for the people that were backing Dawn Approach or Magnificio, but you had a pretty big smile walking into the mounting enclosure. That was a very nice result.
Oh, I couldn't be happier, Adam. I mean, the horse is in very good condition, and his last run was very, very good under Peter Fernie's care, where he probably should have won or run second. He got very held up. So we brought a horse here to the races in good order, ready to run up to his best, but you just never know underweight for age conditions. And obviously he ran into some very good horses, which whether they're at their best or still finding fitness or what, but geez, I couldn't be happy with the horse. He's absolute gentleman to train, but I'm just really privileged because I was given the opportunity to train the horse by Peter Fernie, and I was given a horse to train that was already in form. So I've just been able to keep the horse ticking over that Fernie sent me, and I'm grateful for the owners for trusting me to do that, and glad I could reward everyone here today.
Now, you've had him twice in recent months. Of course, you had him when he came down to Belmont and put in some really good runs, and he's gone back to Kalgoorlie, run very well in the Hannons, come back again. How would you explain the way that he's come down compared to the first time? Were you confident that you were going to see this run today?
Well, I really thought I'd be able to win a race of the horse when I had him for the two runs prior, because he had a first and a second for Peter. And then he come to me, and we took him to the races twice thinking he could win, and once he got very held up and never got a crack at him, and then the second time he had a very hard run, which Fernie was actually not worried by because he wanted the horse very hardened for when he got to Kalgoorlie for the 1400s. But look, I couldn't be happier. Glenn Smith knows the horse well, got the best out of him, and he's won a Group 3 for the owners. Everyone's just wrapped.
Something we've all learnt this campaign, and it's been a long campaign for Acadasset, is a way that he's able to apply himself. He was under the whip very early in this race, and it looked as though the two Sigley runners were going to kick away, but he just continues to fight the whole way and doesn't back down. Yeah,
and that's the magic of Glenn. I just spoke to Peter after the race, and he said, look, if anyone else rode it, he probably wouldn't have won because he had the whip out before the corner, and he obviously knows the horse and knew what he had to do. So, yeah, very pleased all around.
I don't know if you or Peter were expecting the win coming into today, but after that conversation, is there any more plans now? Is there any races picked out that we can look forward to?
Well, he was actually sent down to me to be targeted at I think it's the Carbine Club on Super Saturday. So he was going to have a couple of easy runs prior to then. There's a 78 plus 1200, which he was aimed at going into in a fortnight, but I'm not really sure what his rating is following that, but we don't really care, so happy with today.
Dion, congratulations, a great training performance.
Cheers, thank you.
Smithy, I met you here on Wednesday. It was also after a Group 3 victory. You've had a pretty good week.
Yeah, it's been a great week. Yeah, that one's a little bit unexpected, but, you know, in four-horse fields, you just never know. I've seen a lot of short-price favourites come undone in these sort of events, and luckily Acadasset was one to pull it off.
Just tell us about the fight out there, because obviously very different to a Blackheart Bart where you're sitting there cruising and then you show the turn of foot. But as I mentioned to Dion there, from the 400 metres, you were under the whip. The other two looked as though they were cruising out in front, but he just continues to fight.
He did, yeah. I went back to the paint. I've seen Jason sort of pushing out underneath Jerry Noski, so I went back to the paint to follow him up, and when he got inside Jerry, he sort of dropped the bit a little bit, but I gave him a couple in the left, and he sort of really woke up, and I thought, oh, he's going to be in for a fight here, and right the way down the straight, he just really toughed it out to the line, and he's had all that winter campaign with Pete up in Kalgoorlie. He sort of come down ready to go, and Dion just topped him off beautiful.
As Dion alluded to, you know this horse very well. We've seen a really good run at Kalgoorlie, of course, in the Hannons. Now a Group 3 victory. It wasn't a four-horse field, but it's still a Group 3 victory. Is this career best form for the 7-year-old?
Oh, for sure, yeah. No, if he went to the Winterbottom and something like that lineup, you'd probably find those horses would beat him. But just with that small field, it's good to get away with a Group 3. On
a personal note, do weeks like this make it a bit easier to get up in the mornings and keep making sure that weight stays maintained?
Well, that's right, yeah. No, Blackheart Bart sitting in the stables there, it's quite easy to get out of bed anyway. But no, it's great to first ride for Dion, and we pulled off a Group 3, so I'm wrapped.
Well done, mate. Great work today.
All right, cheers, Adam.